brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Well, I had a question for you. I'm actually a pastor over here at a small town church, and I just want to say I very much appreciate all that you do.
Thank you.
But one question that's come up for me is I often hear you use the phrase, the borrower is slave to the lender. And I definitely agree with that principle in many ways. But then on the other end, I noticed that when it comes to a mortgage, you are okay borrowing in that instance, which seems almost to betray that principle a little bit. And I guess I was just curious on your reasoning as to why you think it's okay to borrow in that instance. But then when it comes to something like a car, especially for someone like me, I live a little bit in the country where I'm at, so it's a little bit more difficult. A car is almost a requirement.
Pastor, that is a wonderful question.
Yeah.
It's a really good question. Of course, you're quoting the scriptures, Proverbs 22:7, the rich rules over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender. And this is a biblical principle that we're violating when we say it's okay to take out a mortgage. And that's your point, and you're correct completely on that. Or when we tell people it's okay to do that. So are you 26?
I'm actually like 31. So 31. I had to think about that for a second.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, you lose count around 30. It happens. So, yeah, I'm on the 34th anniversary of my 30th birthday. But all right. So the answer to your question is, it is the only hypocritical advice we give on this show. It's the only thing that was hypocritical we give on this show. It's the only thing we tell people it's okay to do that I never do. I went broke in my 20s as I was a baby Christian. I had just met God, and I discovered in that process a guy teaching what the Bible said about money named Larry Burkett. And I said, I'm going to follow what the Bible says. I'm never borrowing money again, and I've never borrowed money again. I don't borrow money for anything ever, for any reason, under any circumstances. Everything else I tell people on the show to do, I do exactly what I say to do. Allowing people to take out a mortgage without me yelling at them, it's the only time that my advice is inconsistent with my life. Does that make sense?
Right.
And it's completely fair for you to call me out on it, and then I'll answer your question. But I wanted to caveat that and say, I don't borrow money for anything. And sometimes when I get a question where it's kind of borderline whether they have to borrow or not, I tell them that story. I say, hey, I don't borrow for anything, and I recommend that. That is the best way. If you follow biblical principles, you're going to, in your marriage is going to prosper. If you follow biblical principles raising your kids are going to be amazing. If you follow biblical principles in your mental health and your emotional state, you're going to prosper. And the same's true in your money and in your leadership. If you're running a church, running a business, same thing's true. So I evangelical, man. I believe if the Bible says it and you do it, it's a good thing, right? So I'm with you on that. Now, the reason that I lighten up when someone calls in on that is two things. One is I can pretty much talk you out of or call you stupid taking out a car loan, because cars go down in value, the interest rate is higher, and there's no correlation between buying cars with payments and becoming wealthy. Very few millionaires will tell you that, the best thing I ever did was agree to borrow on a car because I needed a car because I was out in the country and I was driving a long way and I needed a car. No millionaires told us that when we studied 10,000 of them. So the fruit is not there. I'm a fruit inspector. Okay. The second thing is millionaires do tell us that they borrowed to buy a house many times, and when they got it paid off, they never borrowed money again after that. They're debt averse, but not completely mortgage averse. So the data is in that millionaires do that, even though I would tell you the best way to do it is save up and pay cash for it. It's hard to get people to save up for 10 years to buy a house. I can get them to save up 3 years to buy a car, or to 18 months to buy a car. But I can't. I've had trouble doing that. So I make that violation. But I also often tell people all the time when I say that, no more than a 15-year mortgage, no more than a payment of a fourth of your take-home pay. You probably heard me say that, Zachary. And then get the stupid house paid off as fast as you can, because the shortest distance between where you are and wealth is debt freedom. And that's consistent across the thing. But you're exactly right. But a car is a completely different thing. A car is the largest thing we buy that goes the wrong direction. It goes down in value. And when you finance a car, you're just begging to be middle class the rest of your life. financially, mathematically.
Well, and most people are stupid enough to like take a car note on like a $30,000 car when they have no money either.
Exactly. Yeah, like everybody listening right now, just about.
Right.
You're right.
I did have one other thing, and by the way, I want to say I support everything you're doing wholeheartedly, including like I've been using myself many of these steps. Being a small town pastor, you don't get paid a ton of money, and you have kids, and so I've actually had to use these things for myself. So again, I want to say thank you.
Good.
The one other thing I noticed, though, as someone who was new to the Dave Ramsey program in many ways and was new to those steps, is that I didn't hear a lot of talk about creating a buffer. So as someone who was new, I didn't have any money in my checking account, right? Because I was using credit cards, and then I was paying off those credit cards with the money in my account. So I never really had money in my account, and I was in this endless cycle, obviously, like a lot of people were. So one thing that I thought just to consider is that in those baby steps, I almost thought there should be another baby step about creating a buffer, because people need they don't just need a $1,000 emergency fund. I thought that was the buffer whenever I was new to the Dave Ramsey program and the Dave Ramsey baby steps. But there's also this idea of making sure you have a buffer, because you're going to have auto payments on preschool and mortgages and all types of stuff. So
well, that should be part of your budgeting, Zachary. You should plan budgeting is cash flow planning. And so you're planning to not take more money out of your checking account than you have in it. That's your buffer. And you could put a $100 buffer in there if you want, but that's fine. You don't need any more than that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't need a $2,000 buffer because you're incompetent at budgeting. You need to have the budget dialed in. We're paying, the auto payment comes out here. This other payment comes out here. The paycheck planning aspect, it's called, and if you use the Every Dollar app, shows you how to do that. And so you need to plan out every situation there. But hey, we're honored to have you as a new listener.
That is something that rings home to me, because here's what I fell in the trap of doing. My wife and I would make a budget, and then we would check our checking account to see where we were. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't do that, because then I'd be like, oh, well, I can get a little more groceries. And then
because the checking account is not an indicator if you're on your budget.
That's exactly right. And so then that buffer he's talking about, then all of a sudden the school would pull their tuition on the 4th instead of the 5th. And because I was not following the budget map we'd laid out, but I was checking the checking account part.
You would never, a budget map is a plan, and you would never plan to spend money that you don't have in your account.
That's exactly right. Yes.
So don't plan to spend money you don't have in your account, and your need for a buffer goes away. Other than a common sense of $50 or $100 or something for slippage, or something being off 20 cents or something. You don't want to do that. We don't want to the penny thing. But this concept of slosh,
right?
Because that covers my lack of detail and sticking to the detail. That's not. You don't need slosh.
That's right.
That's not good. But yeah, and a lot of people do that. So the trick is, the thing that happens is your brain. And you and I have been talking about this in a bunch of other areas too. Your brain the neuroplasticity, your brain rewires itself when you start making every single dollar come out when it's supposed to. Give every dollar of your income a name before the month begins. You and your spouse spit, shake, and pinky swear that we're sticking to this contract that we just wrote down. Something happens and changes from that chaotic wild man that you were before, and it takes about 90 days for that rewiring to completely occur. And that neuroplasticity, it changes your behavior. It's behavior transformation. And so the detail matters in that situation, because you're forcing your brain to work really hard. Yeah, that's what you want. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. It's a millionaire theme hour. How do you get to be a millionaire? Well, you talk to real millionaires, and you find out how they did it, and you do what they did. How do you get to be skinny? Talk to skinny people. You find out how they did that, and you're skinny. How you be married 67 years? Talk to people who've been married 67 years. Find out how they did that. You do it. See, this is how life works, right? It's called best practices. We study what people are doing that are winning at a particular area of our life, and we emulate that, and then we can go there. Does money make you happy? No, it makes you more of what you already are. If you are miserable and you get money, you will be miserable on steroids. Money does not make you happy, but money gives you options to do wonderful things for yourself and others, called generosity. Millionaires have options that people who aren't millionaires don't have. Rebecca is with us in Washington, D.C. Rebecca, what's your net worth?
Hi, so cool to talk to you. My net worth is $1.3 million.
Cool. How's that invested? Break it down for me.
It was actually inherited.
Okay. All of it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And how is it invested?
It's invested, I inherited from my father, and it was part of his 401k.
Okay, so it's invested in mutual funds now in a 401k?
No, it was all in one stock.
Oh, in stock. Okay. Stock in a 401k. And it's still there?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago did he pass?
Unfortunately, he passed in May.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And how old are you?
I am 36.
Okay. You are the first person I've ever spoken to since doing the Millionaire Theme Hour that inherited their money. So I really want to talk to you.
I know. I've heard you ask and ask every...
Yeah, I'm glad you called. I'm so glad you called because, you know, the presupposition is the only way to get $1 million is to inherit it, and you did it. So I finally found somebody that did it. Good. So tell me the family story. How did your dad have money, and how much did he leave in his estate?
So my dad grew up on a farm. He worked really hard. He became a electrical engineer. And he did all of this on his own. He inherited no money. He had his first child and a wife.
So he was a first generation millionaire.
Yes.
And how much money did he leave when he passed?
6.8.
Wow. And how old was he?
He was 70 and a half.
Okay. And so you have brothers and sisters and your mom or whatever that the 6.8 was distributed to?
You're correct, yes. I have 3 other siblings and my mother.
And everybody in the picture now is a millionaire?
Correct.
What a legacy. He changed his family tree, didn't
he? Yes.
Wow.
He sure did.
Very
Doing
cool.
everything that you preach.
Okay. Wow. How old was he?
He had just turned 70 this year.
Okay. Wow. All right. And 6.8 million, and now there's 4 millionaires left, the kids and mom.
Yeah.
And you're one of them. And how old are you? You told me you said 36, yeah. And what do you do for a living?
I work in the trade show industry.
Okay. So what did your dad leave you other than money that says you're not going to lose this money?
Say that again?
What did your dad leave you in terms of character or habits that says you're not going to turn around and lose this money?
Integrity. He had a lot of integrity, and he always worked hard, and that is one thing that left such an impression on me and my siblings.
All three of you are hard workers?
Money. Yes, very hard.
Okay. Did you know you were going to get this money?
No, I never. I didn't actually know how much money my dad had. I never asked him because it's impolite, so I never knew. He had so much money.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so integrity and hard work says that at 36 you're going to take 1.3, and by the time you're his age it'll be worth 10 easy. Right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So, really, the advice you can give us, and I love talking to you. Thank you so much for calling in. Number one, we get to honor your dad because he obviously was a great dad and obviously did a great job handling money, both. And number two, you're the first person I've ever gotten to talk to that actually on the Millionaire Theme Hour that actually inherited $1 million. So this is very cool. It's very neat. Maybe it'll encourage others who have, because the data that we have says that around 12% of millionaires are inherited. And yet I've never talked to one. So they're like a unicorn so far. I've just seen one unicorn and you're it. So, what, I guess I need to ask you, what would your dad say if we asked him, can this still be done?
He would say yes. That was one thing he always pushed my siblings and I to work hard, save our money, and never overspend. That was a big thing for him. He never bought anything new. All his cars were old.
What do you drive?
I drive a 12-year-old Honda Accord.
Okay. And are you going to go get something different now?
No, I would not dishonor him by right out of the gate buying a new car.
Yeah. So the way you handle this money going forward will be in an effort to honor him.
Yes.
Yeah. It should.
Everything that I think he would want me to do.
Yeah, it should. Because that'll help keep you on a good track, because he was obviously on a good track. He's obviously good with money. That's a good way to measure it for you. I like that. It's a good thing from an integrity and a relationship standpoint, but it's also just a very practical tool to go, hey, would Dad do this?
Yeah.
And if Dad wouldn't do it, we don't do it, because Dad was obviously good with money. So I mean, that's a good measure, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. I hadn't thought about that. So, I'm just thinking about if somebody does inherit money, how to call them out on it, and that's one thing I would do in the future. Then, if I'll use that piece of knowledge right there in the future. Very cool.
Glad to help you.
Very cool. Well, I mean, this is incredible. This is absolutely very cool.
And I also wanted to say, we used one of your endorsed local providers to help sell a property of ours in Florida, and he's been wonderful.
Cool.
That's another thing I'd like to tell everyone that's listening is these guys are legit. They really do help you. They are 100% there for you.
Good. So you have two brothers.
Yes.
Are both of them, you think, going to run the straight and narrow and handle the money well?
One of them will. One of them will not.
Well, the odds are, I mean, really, one of the three of you, odds are, right? So that's cool.
There's
one of them may learn the hard way.
Probably not.
Yeah. One of them may learn the hard way. Okay, cool. Yeah. And how's Mom doing?
She's getting there. It's been an uphill climb, but she's getting there.
Mm-hmm. And was he ill long, or was it sudden?
Sudden.
And it was just the other day, so wow. Yeah, this is still very, very fresh.
Attack.
Yeah, still very, very fresh. Okay. What a legacy, though. You know, we talk to people all the time about changing your family tree, don't we? I mean, the book I've got called The Legacy Journey, and here I'm talking to the tree that has been changed.
For forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, forever, including my nieces and nephews. They're going to be able to go to school paid for because of what he left us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's very cool. Well, and again, the only way you leave people money with no character, they'll have no money. If you leave people money with character, they'll end up with 10x the money. So that's why I'm calling you out on 10 million. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
All right, here's the question from Nathan. What is your opinion on the recent changes allowing college athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness? For sports fans, you know this as NIL. For non-sports fans, when you hear that, we'll explain that in a second. Do you believe this is a positive development for college athletics, providing athletes with more opportunities, or do you have concerns about potential implications for the integrity of collegiate sports? Well, let me address that first. The irony is that NIL has actually probably brought more integrity to collegiate sports because now it's removed all of the edges and all the cheating that's involved with recruiting, which would have been always cash to families or cash to athletes. And since the adoption of NIL, where college athletes can be paid for their name, their image, and likeness.
It wasn't an adoption; it was a court mandated.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Supreme Court.
Yeah, but it
said they had to.
That's right, and so now that is the law of the land. So what that has done is really removed a lot of the cheating and the backroom deals where you saw boosters causing a lot of problems. On the other issue, what is my opinion of it? I'm not a fan of it. I certainly understood that there was a case to be made that colleges and their athletic departments were profiting mightily from these athletes. But what has happened is I think it's swung too far the other way. And that with the transfer rules has now made it free agency. And so college sports mirrors professional sports. But in fact, it's even crazier. It's the wild, wild west. There are no contracts. An NBA or an NFL free agent is under contract for X amount of time. The team and the athlete and the agent all know that the contract is coming up. In college sports now, kids can just simply declare via the transfer portal.
My coach hurt my feelings.
That's right. And then they leave. So I think we're in the wild, wild west of the early days. I think this will continue to morph. But to answer the question, I'm not a fan of NIL. I think it has it's just made the sport a little bit wackier, and I think it's made prima donnas out of high school kids who, by the way, are showing up at signings for their college in Lamborghinis. University of Alabama. That happened this year. Kid showed up at his high school, Dave, to declare he was going to Alabama, and he was driving a brand new Lamborghini. So that can't be good.
There is something wrong with this picture, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
I knew that would load you up.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of me putting a golf ball on a large brush tee so that you can hit it right down the middle, Dave.
Thank you for that.
What say you, sir?
Yeah. Well, I agree with you that the kids, they were due something, but the court ruling completely took it out of the hands of the colleges to develop something, because the colleges screwed up. I mean, if they had come forward, if the NCAA had come forward and put together a plan where the kids could make some money and managed it and adopted that, then it never would have gone to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court just kicked the door completely open. There's absolutely no rules. Like you said, Wild Wild West. It's chaos. And the problem is several-fold then. We've got, I don't mind anybody profiting off of their efforts, okay, regardless. I think that's called a meritocracy, and I'm a big fan of meritocracies. I believe if you work hard, you should get something for that. And if you have talent, you should get something for that. I'm fine with all of that. The problem is with it being completely out of control. Like I've had athletic departments call me and say, hey, would you come speak to the team? And I'm like, sure. What about? Well, we've got a quarterback that makes $2 million a year, and the guy blocking for him makes nothing. How do we build teamwork in that? And I'm like, I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, good luck.
That's like known as can't be done. And so, you need to restructure the whole thing, but they don't have that option because the court took it away from them. You can't structure it. You'd have to, you'd get sued again if you said, okay, we've got to put some of this money in a pool and the whole team benefit so we can build a team character. And then you add to it the portal, which every time you piss somebody off, they just hit the road. And if you want to piss somebody off, piss off a highly aggressive 18-year-old who you are training to run over other people, and then piss them off.
Yeah.
And be surprised that they're pissed off, because what you do all day long is teach them how to run over other people. And then guess what? As soon as you hurt their little feelings, they're gone. And so it's very difficult to build a college team now in this environment. It's very difficult because the kids, there's this disparity of income. And then the last problem is the same problem we've been facing when you and I have been working with the NFL, and our team's been working with the NFL for years. Going to these rookie camps, and we tell these young guys, you just got a $10 million signing bonus, and I understand, but $10 million is not enough to buy everyone in your entire family a $2 million house. That's not $10 million. Okay. That's $100 million, and you did not get $100 million. Besides that, you're in the NFL, which stands for not for long. 3.2 years is the average career. 88% leave the league permanently physically disabled in some manner. The divorce rate, 10x the public. Okay. This does not spell out well for wealth building, okay? It doesn't. So let me tell you what happens to your $10 million. It's gone. In that situation, that's what happens to it. It's gone. You don't have it. And so, but you got bling, and you got a lot of friends right now that aren't really friends, and you're taking them to the Bahamas and go swimming. Well, good for you. That's dumber than crap. And, and so this is me talking to NFL people, and guess what? Guess how far popular that is? It's not popular. So, but and now it's worse because now you're dealing with a 16-year-old because the NIL's dropped down into high school now.
100%. There are actually no limits now.
We're seeing it show up in high schools, and we're going to see it in junior highs. We're going to see 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds start to get payment to lead them through, because we worship these sports figures, and it's just, guys, it's not good for the people. That kid that gets $10 million and doesn't manage it well, and it leads to horrible things in his life, it's not good for him.
Well,
so
you know what it's done? It's really killed amateur athletics, because the very word amateur is now completely defunct.
It's not.
I mean, once you collect a check for doing something, you are by default a professional.
But it is pretty cool if you can show up for signing day in a Lamborghini.
I don't judge the kid, but my goodness.
Hey, there's a defensive Alabaman in here who said it was Ole Miss, not Alabama.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true.
We've got it pulled up.
It was
here.
an Ole Miss player. All right, I have no problem being wrong, because I was still using a great example. So I apologize to all you Roll Tide
people.
You got to be careful.
You big blue people.
We beat you in the Rose Bowl.
There's that. Yeah.
Oh, it feels good to say. But anyway, the point is, you got an Ole Miss kid, all right, showing up.
Oh, that's a Kiffin kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that does make sense.
Careful, Dave.
That makes total sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a little close to home. Lane Kiffin left the balls at the altar, folks, and so that Dave's not over that yet.
No, I'm definitely over it.
Yeah, you got a good coach.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. This has absolutely changed college athletics forever. And here's the other thing. You're going to see this begin to affect the non-revenue generating sports. If you like college,
here's the thing. When I was dealing with college coaches, and we're sitting down talking to college football coaches, and they say, hey, it's not unusual at all for some of the young men on my team for me to be the first male figure in their life to lead them well and to love them well.
Yep.
And regardless of race.
Yep.
And he goes, it's not unusual at all for me to be that guy. And guess what? He's not anymore. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that capability to love those kids well, because they make more than he makes.
Yeah.
And they will leave as soon as he challenges some of their mythology that they're living their life based on, and or their behaviors or whatever. Tries to make them sit on the bench.
Yeah. And I
have to sit on the bench.
Here's one other unintended consequence. It's driving some of the great legendary leaders out of the game. The last 2 years, Entree Leadership Summit, I think it's the best leadership event in the world. It's our signature event here at Ramsey Solutions, part of Entree Leadership. We've had on the stage, arguably, 2 of the top 5 coaches of all time, any sport, Nick Saban in football and Coach K just this last couple weeks, and both of them left, and they've told Dave and I, we were both around them. NIL was one of the reasons that drove them out of it. It's just changed the landscape.
The NIL and portal together is just...
Both of them, yeah.
Just real. So it's not good. It's not good for the kids. It's not good for the sports. That's the summation of it. And yet, I would never deny someone the right to earn money. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So you just got to figure out some way that it's done in a wise way that's a blessing to everybody involved. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Saw a story on Yahoo about Jessica Simpson joking that she's on a budget. What is this all about?
I'm just as confused as you can, but it's a fun little piece here. Jessica Simpson jokes that she's on a budget after her credit card got denied at a Taco Bell. You can't make this stuff up.
That's awkward.
There's
a lot going on here. Like, are you surprised that she went to Taco Bell?
There's a lot of things I'm surprised about here.
Yeah, she strikes me as a Wendy's fan.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't see Jessica Simpson at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like, what is she getting there?
If you go to a Taco Bell drive-thru, it is the most beautiful melting pot of economics. I mean,
is that right?
There's people in, sports cars, wealthy folks.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Taco Bell, does not discriminate. Everyone loves them some late-night tacos.
And so does Jessica Simpson. So there she is.
The article opens, Jessica Simpson has some beef with Taco Bell. The artist, 41, joked about having her credit card declined at the popular fast food chain while focusing her finances on her ever-growing businesses as she appeared this week on The Real. Quote, I have no working credit card, Simpson said. It's okay. I'll pay in cash. I went to Taco Bell the other day and my card got denied. I'm on a budget, ladies. That's a great quote right there. She added that she's draining my bank account into growing her eponymous billion-dollar fashion brand, of which she and her mother, Tina, regained control of in October. The multi-hyphenate even considered borrowing against her home for the big business move.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that's confusing. You're on a budget, but you're also going further into debt.
Yeah, I don't know if she is on a budget, but I know this, George. We all got to be on a budget when you don't have a reality TV show.
There's some confusing things here.
Yeah.
She's got the cash to pay for Taco Bell, but the card's getting declined.
Yeah, because she's got no credit left because she spent it all on her.
She's maxed it out.
Her company.
She's maxed it out.
Thank you for using it. See, I don't even know the right words to use.
We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an interesting thing when you look at, celebrities and finances, because a lot of people go, well, celebrities, they're making so much money, they have it easy. But a lot of people who make really good money can still be broke. It's fascinating how that works.
Yeah.
So I applaud Jessica. If she truly is on a budget, I think it's great. And Jessica, if you're listening, my wife loved your biography, and we encourage you to check out Every Dollar. That's all I'm going to say.
If you were to coach Jessica Simpson, because a lot of wealthy people blow their money, they don't do well, would you have Taco Bell in the budget?
I think so.
You would?
Yeah, I mean, personally, you
allow for fast food as a part of a budget.
I've got to watch my physique, Ken, personally, as you do too.
Yeah.
At your age, it matters even more. It matters even more.
Wow.
But no,
this is good. I
think,
like this.
We talk about how if you're trying to get out of debt, we don't want you to see the inside of a restaurant, and so that means you're not eating out. No frivolous
that's why
purchases.
I'm bringing it up, and you're saying it's okay.
Well, I think once you're out of debt, absolutely, let's throw it in the budget. Now, I don't want you eating out every single day, mostly because it's bad for your health on top of your budget.
Yeah.
But a little Taco Bell will never hurt anyone. And plus, it's the cheapest way to buy gas these days. Taco Bell, dollar menu. There you go, Ken. There's my dad joke for the day.
Oh, man. There's so many ways I could go with that.
It's only $1.19 to get gas at Taco Bell.
$1.19. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I don't know that we can prove that it's good for anybody, though.
No, but I do want all celebrities and all normal Americans to be on a budget and to stay away from debt. So, Jessica, don't borrow against your home. Don't max out your credit cards. You are running this fashion empire. Use this revenue wisely. We tell people with Entree Leadership to run their businesses completely debt-free.
Yeah.
And people say you can't do that, Ken, but we meet them every single year at our Entree Leadership events, and they're amazing business owners, small business owners, who are running their businesses completely debt-free using cash.
Oh. Well,
love to see it.
Very interesting stuff.
There you go.
Would have loved to see what that order was.
I'm just glad Yahoo's still around. It's amazing. When you said that, it was like a nostalgic to me. Dennis joins us in Wichita. Dennis, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How can we help today?
I have actually, it's my daughter has a situation. She's 17 years old. Her mom got her a checking account when she was 16, and she's been working and putting money away and being very responsible. Well, a couple of days ago, she got a message on Instagram from somebody she did not know, saying that they enjoyed some of her pictures and they wanted to use her pictures and they would pay her for it. Well, what they ended up doing was they sent her a check via email, said, okay, for $3,000, we're going to pay you for the pictures. You keep $500 and send us back that money when you deposit it, the $2,500 through Zelle. So she did that. I know, I would have saw it instantly, but I told her, but things happen. Well, anyway, she didn't think anything of it. She went ahead, and as soon as the account said that money was there, she sent it through Zelle to this individual. And then they tried it again for another $2,500. And then my ex-wife got a text message saying that the account was overdrawn and there's suspicious activity on it. And so they went in, they filed a police report with the local police. They sent it over to the bank's asset protection. So my question is basically this. They're saying that they got the second one stopped, but the first one, she may be on the hook for $3,000, which I kind of agree with, but I kind of don't agree because I thought there should be some better protection on a checking account for a minor, and that's what it was. So we're kind of, what do we do? My thought was just let them sue her for the money, this way she gets in front of a judge. They can, at least talk to an impartial person, a judge, and say, hey, this was scammed. We shouldn't be owed this. They didn't do anything to protect this account from fraudulent activities and fraudulent checks, because it's definitely fraudulent.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of, what do we do?
How honest can I be with you?
Perfectly. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know what state you're in. Kansas there. Every state's different. But if I'm a judge and you bring this to me, I'm going to turn around and say, where were the parents of this minor? Because they're ultimately in charge when you open an account like that. And so, yes, a bank should have, if they're going to open up an account for minors, there should be protections and all that. But anything legally always rolls downhill to the parent. Not always, but almost always rolls downhill to the parents or uphill to the parents. And so you can do that. I think this is an extraordinary, expensive, pull your hair out, frustrating, but extraordinary gift for your daughter if y'all frame this right. If you frame it as making this the bank's fault, then you're teaching your daughter that if we make a big mistake and we screw up, even we trying to do right, we thought we'd get this, then there's always somebody else to blame. If you teach your daughter, man, we messed up. You messed up big. I'll split this with you, or you can work it off in this way. It's going to be a very expensive thing to learn. My promise is this never happens again. I just was dealing with somebody who's a friend of mine who's got a college-age kids, was caught up in a sexting thing and a very similar scam via Instagram. And it was a mess, caused a lot of heartache and a lot of police reports and all that. Here's what I can promise you, that will never happen again, right? And I'm more interested in setting up a 17-year-old with a $3,000 lesson. Usually it's a car wreck or something like that you can learn a lesson like this. Set it up a lesson like this, and this never happens again, than I am about, well, they should have had, I personally am not going to go down that road. And if I'm a judge, I'm going to look at you, Dad, or look at your ex-wife and say, where were the parents when this stuff was going on? That's my take on it. George, you got a thought?
Yeah, I just keep thinking, man, this could be a expensive road to go down, just fighting this thing in court when we don't even know who this guy is. And so as far as recourse goes, sure, you can report it to Zelle. You can, go after your bank and say, hey, this was fraud, this is legitimate fraud. But at the end of the day, there's a level of stupid tax here where we have to go, okay, red flag number 4,000. If they send me 3,000, but I'm only getting 500, this is a scam. When they overpay. And let me tell you, I fell for this, John, when I was younger. I shipped a pair of shoes on Craigslist to Nigeria because he said it was for his cousin, and I got a PayPal email. He paid extra for the shipping, and I thought, wow, this guy's legit. He really just wanted to send these to his cousin. It was a fake email, and it took a lot of sleuthing to even figure out it was a fake email. But I should have checked my bank account and said, is this money actually there? Is this actually in my PayPal account? And so there's a lot of things we do as teenagers, and there's two people getting scammed these days, older folks and young folks. The people in the middle hopefully know better, but especially young people, they can be susceptible because they're used to Venmo and Zelle. This is in their world. But unless they're mailing me a check and I go to the bank and cash that check, it's fraud.
I know I sound like a gong, George. And hey, Dennis, I appreciate your vulnerability and I appreciate you calling and asking. And I know things are challenging because you're parenting in two different households here, this young lady. If you were going to hand a child a smartphone, and you're going to give them open access to the internet, to all social media, and let's let them go because they're just kids. And please do your due diligence and look at what is happening to our young people who are involved in this, just having free reign of the internet, free reign of these social media apps, free reign of... This is the best case scenario, quite honestly.
Yeah.
That she lost $3,000 and learned a hard lesson. The number of people over my years working at colleges that were caught up with compromising pictures of them that are out that they could never get back, that people were taking their text messages. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Parents, you have to be in your kids' business, especially when they're minors. Well, I don't want to be private. They're 15, they're 17, they're 14, they're 13. Get in their business. Get in their business. We don't let them buy beer. We don't let them buy smokes. We don't let them go to war. We don't let them buy guns because we know that their brains aren't fully formed. Yet we hand them the internet and say, make good choices, right? And there's entire industries that are built on preying on these young folks. Parents, get involved.
Have that conversation and say, here's the ground rules. Also, if anyone asks you for money, wants to give you money, this is a conversation that goes straight to the parents, and we talk about it.
Or be a Luddite and just... don't give your kid access to the internet open.
Yeah. John, no one's ever wanted to buy my photos that I post on Instagram. So And I'm a big deal, John. So I don't know what she got on her Instagram.
No one's ever. I'm not gonna. Oh, you know what? Someone reached out and said they'd like to pay for my pictures of my feet. And that's when I thought,
I'm going to hard nope on that one,
we're not
John.
going to be friends.
I hope that was rhetorical, like you're talking about someone else.
No.
Dear Lord. Okay.
And if they're reaching out to, oh God, help us. Parents,
Social
get
media.
involved in your kids' lives. Get involved in your kids' lives.
You're not being a helicopter parent. You are being wise.
You're being a caring parent.
Yeah, well, this is not encroaching on their privacy. This is helping them avoid some huge mistakes. A $3,000 mistake.
You've got 2 little dogs. Do they have their own account?
If they could open a bank account, John, I would make them open one.
No, I'm talking about an Instagram account.
Oh, yeah, one of them's got one. We don't post, though.
Come on,
We're better
man.
than that. We gave up on it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like, it's just you and me
Nobody
and a couple
wants
million
to
people.
see
Are
that.
you being honest? You gave up on it?
100%. You can go check it.
I'm proud of you, George.
Thank you.
I know it's hard.
Social media is hard enough on your own, let alone posting for an animal that can't post for itself. But some good lessons here, John. Social media, I think this is one of these things this generation has to grapple with and go, what's the healthy way to use this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's going to happen more and more.
And more and more and more and more and more. Yeah.
So parents need to have these conversations, set some ground rules, set some boundaries,
Get
so that we don't end up with a situation like this.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I hate that for you, brother. I hate that, Dennis. I hate that, man.
That blows.
I hate this for your little girl, too.
I hope she gets the money back somehow. That'd be great. But I've heard with these Zelle scams, it can be really difficult to get your money back. There's not a lot of recourse on this, but if she gets it back, call us up. Let us know. We'll cheer on with you, man. Johnny is kicking us off in Denver, Colorado. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. What's going on with you?
Well, to keep it simple, I have about $40,000 in credit card debt that I'm looking to erase as soon as possible. But it's really difficult because I only make around $45,000 after tax, and I owe so much credit card debt, and all my credit cards are over the limit that the interest alone is almost the exact amount of any minimum payments I'm able to make on a monthly basis. So just as of right now, I just don't know how I'm ever going to even make a dent in this, because any payments I do make, the interest all but absorbs it, and I make no progress.
What is the range of the interest rates on these cards?
They're 25 to 29%.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. What are you doing for work?
I am an appraiser, just like a valuation analyst for commercial real estate.
Can you work overtime in that role?
It's a salaried position, so it's a full-time gig already. I work maybe 40 to 50 hours a week, but it's salaried, so 25% of my overall earnings are going towards benefits, insurance, 401k savings, Roth IRA accounts, etc.
What other debt do you have other than the $40,000?
Other than the $40,000 in credit card debt, that's really just it.
So no car loans, no student loans?
I have $13,000 in student loans, but I'm really just hoping that the Biden administration would just kind of wipe that away for me.
You were going to be hoping to the grave, my friend.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go ahead and give you some breaking news, all right? Uncle Joe and no president, any party, is going to forgive student loans. It's big business for them. They're not going to do it. It's an empty political promise. I'm just here to tell you, I want to bash that so that we can move on to getting out of this debt. You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
So any other debt you want to tell us about? We got 53 total right now. Okay.
No, that's it. Just the student loan that I was hoping would just disappear on its own, but now that you're saying not,
okay,
then it's 53 total.
Now, are you a new listener to the show?
Yes, I just found your guys' YouTube channel about a week ago.
Oh, welcome.
Awesome.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Welcome to this weird bunch of crazies. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you through the baby steps. You're in baby step 1 right now, trying to get $1,000 saved in the bank. Do you have $1,000?
Yes.
Okay, great. How much left over after the $1,000 do you have? You have more than that?
After I take away 1,000, I'd be left with 1,000.
Okay, so you've got 1,000 left over. How much are you investing right now?
No more investments. I pulled out all of my investments to pay off some of my credit card debt, and
like you pulled from your retirement?
No, I don't really have a retirement account aside from my 401k and Roth accounts.
Okay. So you didn't touch those?
No, I didn't touch those.
Okay, so where you said you pulled it, where did it go from?
I pulled it from like my stock accounts that I'd started when I was in high school.
Okay.
I had accrued a couple thousand, but then when the credit card debt became too much, I just pretty much pulled it all out to make payments towards the credit cards. But then the interest kind of just like went way overboard.
So what are the minimum payments right now across your credit cards?
So the minimum payments across my credit cards, I have 3 big ones. It's $300, $300, $500, pretty much around $1,200 minimum every month.
Okay. And you're able to make those payments, but the balance keeps growing?
Yeah, I'm able to make those. Yes. So to clarify, I'm able to make the minimum payments on a monthly basis because I pull in around $3,900 monthly. But the interest is so high, or again, like around 25 to 29%, that the minimum payment on one card is $300, and then the interest is $303.
Have you looked into refinancing any of that debt to a lower interest?
I had thought about looking into it, but I'm kind of discouraged because one of the options was like a credit transfer card that might be able to absorb all of the credit card debt that I have into like a zero interest card. But research indicates that I probably need like a minimum 670 credit score to even qualify for one. And due to the damage over the last 3 months, because of the fact that all of these cards are over the limit anyways, I don't have enough of a high enough credit score to even consider getting a credit transfer card.
How much time do you have? George is going to keep walking you through this, but I just got to ask, how much time do you have or could you make to work extra doing another job?
Well, I work full-time during the weekdays. I could definitely work on the weekends if
and
I
evenings.
Need to.
Can you work a few evenings?
Well, it's a 9 to 6 gig, so pretty much if I don't sleep, I could work evenings.
Yep, you can do it. You can at 6 o'clock. You go eat yourself a ham sandwich in the car that you made, and
do 3 hours of Uber
3
Eats and
hours of
DoorDash.
work. Man, you have got to get some income in to pay off these cards. And the good news is you can do that.
Okay.
This is a mountain in front of you, but you're going to start clawing away at this thing as you create more margin. And so what you're going to do is get on a written plan, a budget. I'm going to gift you 1 year of Every Dollar Premium to help you with this. You're going to list out your income minus all of your expenses. That should equal zero. Every dollar has an assignment. Once you do that, you're going to look at your bank statement and go, okay, what are every single one of my expenses? And then you're going to be brutal in cutting every single thing that doesn't just help you survive right now. And so we're not eating out, we're cutting our subscriptions, we're cutting all the luxuries, we are covering our 4 walls, which is food, utilities, shelter, transportation. That's pretty much it. And whatever your insurance premiums are. Everything else is kind of a want beyond just putting basic food on the table, right?
Right.
And so if you do that, I want to know how much of a raise you're going to give yourself of that $3,900 you're taking home. The goal is to say, hey, how do we get $2,000 of that being thrown at the credit cards? How do we get $2,500 of that thrown at the credit cards? And if you need to go make more income to get it to $4,500 take home, then let's go do that for a season to get rid of this. Because we meet people all the time who make your income, who have your level of debt, and they can do this stuff, and you can too. The issue you're running into is the interest rates making it feel insurmountable. But as soon as you start clawing away at that, you get the balances lower, we're going to be able to cover this. And communicate proactively with these companies and say, hey, here's what I can pay. I can't get away from this right now. And some of them may go to collections, but your goal is to try to clean this up as fast as possible. I'm going to also gift you Financial Peace University. Watch all 9 lessons, start doing that Every Dollar budget, and you're going to feel a sense of peace, a sense of hope, a sense of confidence about your future. You can do this, man. Call us back when you're debt-free and share your story, and hang on the line. Austin's going to pick up and get you those gifts from us.
Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm a bit stressed out right now. My girlfriend and I are in an immense amount of student debt, and I fear it's creating some burdens on me right now.
Yeah.
No, you and your girlfriend might each have debt, but we don't have debt. We aren't married. So how much debt do you have?
I have $120,000.
And how much debt does she have?
$120,000.
Oof.
And so if we combine this, we got $250,000. How old are you two?
23 years old.
So if you get married, you got a whole world of hurt going on, huh?
Yes,
And that's stressing you out.
extremely.
Now I'm caught up. What's your question?
She wants to get her master's, and it'll add $50,000 more debt to our student loans.
To her student loans.
To her student loans, yes.
Are you engaged?
No,
Okay.
Maybe
so yeah.
maybe she's not the one.
I don't know, Dave.
I do.
What's the degrees in?
I have a master's of architecture. She has a bachelor's of architecture.
Okay.
Why do you need a master's in architecture to be able to be an architect? You don't. You just have to pass the bar.
Exactly.
You know, I used an architect to build this building, which is, I don't know, we've got about $400 million in this project, I guess. I have no idea if any of the architects have a master's. So far, it hadn't fallen down since 2019, so I think we're okay. But we did have certified architects, one of the top architectural firms in the area, but I have no idea if they had masters or not. I didn't ask. Also didn't ask where they went to school. Point being, you don't have to have a master's to be a successful architect. Hello?
That's what I've been trying to tell her, and honestly, it was the wrong choice for me. The only reason I got it is because my undergrad degree, I was debt-free.
I'm not calling you dumb. I'm just forgetting it. I'm just saying you don't have to have it to be successful. And if you don't have to have it to be successful, then and you're already $120,000 in debt, young lady, then young lady, it's not smart to go another $50,000 in debt to get something you don't need to be successful. That's silly.
I agree.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? What caused you to what caused you to be okay with your debt and then suddenly not okay with her debt? I guess is my question.
Because she wants to add more.
Because right now I see us as being on an equal playing field, and we'll be able to get rid of the debt as a team. She does live with me and my parents.
Interesting. Okay. There's a lot of twists and turns in this conversation. No wonder you keep viewing it as ours, because you guys have set up a situation where you're pretending that is the case. And so that I can understand why you're going along with that. But the truth is you're dating, you're not engaged, you're certainly not married yet. You really don't know what's going to happen on down the road. And if I were in your shoes, I'd be laser focused on what I'm doing with my life and my money going forward. I think that's the best thing you can do.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's where we're coming from. We're being a little bit sarcastic and flippant with your love life here. But the truth is that couples that can agree on the principles of how we're going to handle money going forward, including like the issues of saving, the issues of generosity, the issues of going into debt, the issues that we're going to be on a budget and we're going to tell all our money what to do. We're going to be in agreement on that. We both get a vote. Couples that do that have an unbelievably high probability statistically of making it in their marriage sticking. Okay. And so here's some data for you that's very interesting. You've heard this phrase, Gabriel, that 50% of the marriages end in divorce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not true, by the way. It's an inaccurate statistic when you actually get into it. Here it gets very weird, okay? If you both graduate from college, if you both make $50,000 a year or more, if both of your parents are still married, which is not something you can control. The other things are things you can control. If you have a 4-year degree, in other words, and you're making money, and both your parents are still married, and you're in agreement on how money's going to be handled, and you're in agreement about religion, and you're in agreement about kids, how many we think we're going to have and how they're going to be treated. Are the inmates going to run the asylum or are the parents? And how are we going to deal with in-laws? The extended parent problem and so forth. If you can get an agreement on those 4 things and you graduate from school, and again, you're aligned, which you're not, by the way, okay? But if you're aligned on all of those things and you both graduate from school and you both have good incomes, you have like a 90% probability this marriage is going to work. So you can control the situation you get into. It's not like randomly marriages just end. No, we sign up for stuff that didn't have a chance. So if you get married, if you have babies before you get married, you lower the chance of your marriage lasting. Statistically, if you have babies before you get out of high school, your statistical probability of making it is almost zero. It's almost zero. You can do it. Some people do. There's exceptions you can point to, and that's a wonderful thing that they did make it. But statistically, if you want to design a life that causes your marriage to work, that's not the way you design it.
That's right.
The data tells you don't do that, okay? So that's what you're facing here, and that's what's giving Jade and I pause, and that's why I jokingly said maybe she's not the one, but it really wasn't that much of a joke, Gabe. So you guys need to sit down and say, all right, are we going to get aligned on this? Because I'm not okay with this. I'm freaking out that we have $250,000 if we get married we have to take, and you're with a wink and a nod going and get a master's degree. You don't have to be successful in the architectural field. I'm not okay with that, babe. Now let's talk that through and see how that works, right?
That's right.
And so, yeah, it's not
the hard part is she's ensconced in the life now. They're living with the parents, and that's the hard part of this whole entire thing is when you intertwine your life like that, and then something like this comes to threaten to derail it. You're more likely to stay in a situation that maybe is not all that you want to because it's so tangled together. And it's like, well, if I say this, then what happens? Does she move out? Do I move out? And you create.
No, it's her parents. She moves out. That's how that works. But yeah. Moms and dads, keep in mind, sometimes when you're trying to do something nice, you create a bigger mess. And these parents, they create a bigger mess. Yeah, I'll just bring her on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how that works out. Man. Y'all, this is just.
Let me tell you something, Dave. If I said...
You don't think Sam's going to say that?
If I said, Mom, Dad, can Sam Warshaw come live in the house with us and be my boyfriend? I'd be on the moon. It'd be unsolved mysteries.
Well, yeah. And we would never have found the body on Sam either.
Man, okay. We'd be off this earth.
You do what? You say what, child?
Oh, off the earth. I'm telling you, no trace. Gone without a trace.
A 48 hours mystery.
I know, Dateline.
That is absolutely no mystery at all.
That's right.
We know what happened.
Yeah. We know what happened. I'm just
you know
blown
why?
away.
You know why? Because he knows the numbers.
Yeah.
Because he's got good. You don't have to know these numbers statistically like I do to have good walking around sense and say this doesn't work. So Gabriel, you got a mess on your hands, buddy. I'm sorry, and your mom and dad added to it by inviting her in there. So you guys, if you all were standalone right now, each of you had an apartment and each of you had a life, you'd be looking at this through a different set of eyes.
That's right.
It would change the whole conversation. That's what they've messed up. They thought they were doing something nice by furnishing housing, and it's cheaper. The kids can save some money. Yeah, you weren't thinking about all the other unintended consequences of these decisions. So, yeah. Gabriel, if she can't get aligned on this with you, don't go forward, honey. Go ahead and call it now. If you can get aligned, then y'all work through the rest of the crap we just talked about, and you can probably make it. That's what I would tell you. I'm sorry. That's kind of harsh, but
it is.
That is where we
tough.
are. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I was actually calling because my husband is very obsessed with you in a good way, and big on living like no one else, so later we can live like no one else. I've always admired and appreciated the dedication, but lately it's kind of taken an extreme turn and seems to be taking a toll on his mental health and, quite honestly, mine as well lately. So my question is, how do you suggest finding a balance between financial responsibility and unhealthy fixation?
Well, we need Dr. John Deloney, I think. I don't think I'm qualified for this. I don't know. What in the world? How is his mental health slipping because he's extremely focused on a goal? That usually has the opposite effect of not mental health problems.
I understand, exactly. So it just seems to be the only thing that he can really think about, and it seems like he sees that we're in his mind, he thinks that our financial situation is like way worse, or we're not where we should be in life right now, even though, in my opinion, I think that we're, in a good place.
Okay. How long have y'all been working on this?
Probably recently, like the last 2 or 3 years.
So for 3 years, he's been super intense.
Pretty intense.
And what about you?
She's tired.
Yeah. It has really been, like, I don't want to seem like I'm, like, ungrateful for his dedication and all the effort that he puts into it, but it starts to kind of make me feel like, should I be worried? Even though I don't feel like we should
Okay,
be.
so the two of you sit down and do a budget following our stuff,
yes,
right?
we are on the every dollar budget.
Okay, so when you guys sit down and do that, it's not a hopeful, yay, rah, we're making progress. Instead, it's a doom scroll.
Hey, sorry for the interruption. This is important. No one likes to think about dying, but one day your family will have to deal with everything you leave behind. So the question is, will it be easy or a total nightmare? That's where Knockbox comes in. Knockbox is a kit with 15 categories and clear instructions that give your family an organized plan, so they're not sifting through old paperwork and guessing passwords and dealing with lawyers. So leave your family memories instead of a mess. Grab your Knockbox kit today at knockbox.com/Ramsey for the best discount available. That's knockbox.com/Ramsey.
Instead, it's a doom scroll.
It's more of like, we should be doing more. He feels like he's not doing enough.
Give me an example. What he feels like? I mean, like you're like
you guys working your way out of debt?
I want to buy some food, and he's like, no, you can't have food.
Well, not to that extreme, but like if we do want to go out to dinner, it is still like, oh, we got to tighten up. We don't have any car payments. We don't have any credit card debt. We don't have any student loans. We've got over $100,000 in retirement.
What is it? What is it? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Do you know what baby step you're on?
I do not.
Okay, so you're really not plugged into all this stuff. You're just watching him do it.
It's gotten to the point where it's like I kind of dread talking about it.
So are y'all out of debt except your house?
Yes.
And do you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses?
We do.
Okay, then that puts you on baby steps, what we call 4, 5, and 6, which means you should move from, we teach that you, and if he listens this intently, he should know this, that you should move from intense to intentionality in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. 4 is we're putting 15% of our income away for retirement. 5 is we're addressing kids' college. And 6 is if we have any other money after we live our life, then we put that towards the mortgage because we want to get the mortgage paid off in the next 5 to 10 years. That is not intense. We teach and live like no one else. Don't go out to eat. Don't go on vacation in the first 3 baby steps. And that's getting out of debt and having an emergency fund, not counting the house. And you're past that. You should have moved from not going out to eat to going out to eat in your budget with no guilt.
Yeah.
That's our teaching. Okay, so what we're saying is you guys got past the emergency stuff of getting out of debt in the emergency fund, and he refuses to take his foot off the gas.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's obsessing over every little thing, and it's spinning him out is what it's doing.
It really is.
It's stressing him out more than giving him freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is such an interesting, we talked about this on another show last week together, how money becomes an idol for so many people. And some people, it's the chase of more, nicer. But on the flip side, it becomes an idol in this case where you're so obsessed with it in a negative way that it's like literally eating into the quality of your life because it's all you're thinking about. And that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
There should be a lot more freedom. And so there's something in him.
Yeah, at the baby step that you're on, he's doing it wrong. If he's that obsessed with our show and with what Dave Ramsey and Rachel Cruz teaches, we don't teach what he's doing. We tell you to be intentional I don't want you being wasteful and this, but it's not intense. Okay, the intensity is no going out to eat, beans and rice, rice and beans, no vacation till you get yourself out of debt, and accept the house, baby step 2, and finish your emergency fund. You told me you've done that, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now we're just saving for retirement, kids' college, and we're working to get the house paid off, and that is intentional. That's the stage you move up in car with cash. That's the stage you buy a new couch if you need one with cash. That's the stage you go on a decent vacation with cash. That's the stage that you go out to eat in your every dollar budget. All of those things should be in your every dollar budget, and there should be room for them. What's your household income, Georgia?
Around 150 together combined.
Yeah. So you make plenty of money to become millionaires and to change your family tree and do the things I just said in that last series of sentences. So
I agree.
Okay. So, what we want you to reach for, and him too, him is who I'm talking to, I guess, is financial peace. There's no peace in this discussion. It's that, as Deloney says, let your shoulders drop and exhale. And he's never done that yet. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, he's 25, so if it's this intense here in this part of life, I can only imagine that if we don't do something about it, it's just going to get a lot more intense.
Yeah, I think you guys need to sit down maybe with a good marriage counselor or maybe with your pastor, because this is kind of a spiritual thing at this stage. It's an emotional and spiritual thing. You just got to learn to enjoy the ride now. You've done a great job, and you need to enjoy the fruits of your labor. My guess is this is an intense dude, period. That he probably is this way about a lot of things. I don't know anybody like that, but but it could happen. This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Today's Ramsey Network app question comes from Ava. She says, my partner and I have been together 12 years and have 2 young sons. We own a house worth $450,000 and owe $200,000 on it. I'm on baby step 2 and I've paid off a $5,000 loan and have $23,000 left on a car loan. I earn $42,000 and think my partner brings home about $55,000. He has an estranged wife who asked him to start divorce proceedings, but he won't because he doesn't want to pay for it. I want us to get married, but he does not want to marry me. We have life insurance on each other, but he refuses to make a will. I feel like I have no choice except to leave him. It breaks my heart for my boys, but I'm afraid we are at risk of financial ruin if we stay. I paused the baby steps to start stacking up money in case I end up moving out. I have no one else to turn to, so my question is, what would you tell me to do if I was your sister?
I would have told you to move out a long, long time ago. I would have told you don't move in with a married man. Don't have babies and buy a house with a married man. I would have told you don't have babies with somebody who has so little regard for his ex-wife that he won't even honor her with a divorce certificate. I would tell you to stay away from a man who refuses to make a will, because that's a man who is unwilling to face reality and who is telling you with his actions, I don't care what happens to you after I'm dead. I simply don't care about you enough to even fill out a piece of paper that says, I want to make sure you're okay. Gosh, I guess I can keep going. Your heart, if you were my sister, I would tell you, yes, I understand your heart is broken for your boys, but your boys have been living in an alt universe, and you've been the one who've been trying to have this fantasy household together, and it's never been real. And so I don't say this lightly. In fact, it goes against one of my core values, which is I never tell somebody you need to get out and do something unless it's violence related. But you're not married, you need to go. you need to go, and probably you need to get an attorney and figure out custody. No, 100% you need to get an attorney, figure out custody, figure out how to sell this house, and get the equity out of it. And there's going to have to be some sort of child support, and you need to figure out how all that's going to get mapped out. And you have to understand you are playing with a man who does not care about you, period. He cares about himself. And because of that, this is a business transaction. You have to get an attorney that's going to be an advocate for you. And there's a lot of great, amazing attorneys out there that will walk with you through this hellscape that you've co-created. But that's what I tell you from my sister, George.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the numbers going, you can't afford to keep this car. It's $23,000 left on the loan. You make $42,000. That car is gone.
Car's
you
gone.
You probably can't afford to stay in the house, even with child support. It's not going to be enough to carry the mortgage and carry the weight. You're going to need to go find a place for the boys, and it's just going to be a messy time of, this turned into a business transaction gone wrong, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this. And I would get people in your corner who can cheer you on, get professionals in your corner who can help, like attorneys, real estate pros, tax pros, financial advisors. You need to assemble people around you who have your best interest at heart, which probably has not happened in the last 12 years.
Yeah. What a mess. What an absolute mess.
Let this be a warning to everyone listening. Don't do this kind of stuff. Don't play house thinking it'll all just work out because it's love. No, this is what happens on the other end.
Yeah.
People are harmed by it. There's consequences.
And the problem here is there's not a great exit strategy. It's just a huge, bird's nest on a fishing rod. It's just a huge tangled up mess.
And who knows if she's on the deed and who's on the mortgage. I mean, this could just get messier and messier as you untangle it.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry, Ava.
What a mess.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Identity theft protection isn't a luxury in today's world. It's a necessity. Get yours at Xander.com.
So I have kind of a tricky situation with my mom. My husband and I are doing great. We are on baby step 6. We're debt-free except our mortgage. And we are in the position of we provide a home for my mom. She was widowed in 2013. And my father passed away, leaving her with a mountain of debt, medical debt that they'd accrued over the years. And she filed bankruptcy and then later sold her house. So she is sitting on about $100,000 left from that. But we provide a home for her. We charge her like a quarter of the rent that she would because we built a mother-in-law when we built our house. My question is...
So she lives next door to you or adjacent to you?
Yes, we have like a shop apartment that she lives in currently.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so she's on your property. You're not providing her a standalone separate home. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's like an apartment on the property. It's separate from the
And how old is she?
She is currently, I believe she'll be 69 this year.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, so when my father passed away, she decided not to get a job again. She wanted to be there for grandkids. There's, 7 children in our family and lots of grandkids. We've tried to advise her to get a job. She has not. So we provide her a place because she can't really afford rent. She's on like $2,000 Social Security. My problem is I have an older sibling who her whole life has been a series of just unfortunate decisions, and she's in one financial problem after another. And we found out that my mom has been paying bills for her and loaning her money and all of this out of pretty much a tiny nest egg that she hasn't invested. She's just sitting on. And my husband and I feel that we are supporting her financially and finding out that we have siblings who are taking advantage of her financially. I don't really know how to address it with her in a respectful way. That I love my mom. I don't want to, come down hard on her, but it's just tricky because we know we're going to be caretakers for her eventually. She really doesn't have much to support herself with. Anyway,
so basically, the $100,000 that she had,
appreciated.
she's going to burn through it supporting the parasite siblings.
Yes, that's our concern.
Okay.
Have you talked to her about that?
Then you're going to be stuck with mom in the house, and you're going to be caring for your mom, and she's going to have Social Security checks, all she's got to blow now.
Yes.
How close are we to that? Is 100 gone yet?
I just recently talked to her. She said she has like 109, and she's very cagey about being open with me about how much she's helped. But I do know she's providing bills, and this sister, she's recently divorced. She has 2 kids. She refuses to go to work more than 2 days a week because she wants to keep her government aid, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And
well, I guess you got 2 choices. You just tolerate this crap, or you tell mom you're going to stop this, or you move out. Those are your 2 choices, right?
Yeah, they're harder to make.
Yeah, they're hard, but listen, your life right now, every minute you wake up, you're thinking about this. And every time one of your siblings texts you or calls you, you get insta rage. And every time you ask your mom a question and she's cagey, you say something like, well, you're in my house. Like, you're making yourself crazy. You're already having a hard life, is what I would say. And so you can keep having that hard life, or you can choose another hard life, which is to put all this junk on the table and deal with it. But either path is hard. One of them is going to bury you. One of them may clarify the whole thing or blow up the whole thing. Or you can just make
peace with it and go, she's going to piss the money away to the parasites, and she's going to live with us, and I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to quit worrying about it. You can make peace with it and let it run. That's not my style, but you could do that. That's a valid option. Staying where you're staying is not a valid option. You either need to put up some ultimatums and say, we're going to conduct this situation properly, and you're not going to support the parasites while you live here for free or virtually free. That doesn't work. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to find another place to live. Mom, I love you, but I'm not going to tolerate this behavior because I feel like I'm supporting the parasites, and it's against my morals to do that.
How much of this is you're not mad at your mom, but you're mad at your siblings?
Yeah.
It's not my mom at all. My mom, she's meaning well.
Most enablers are sweet people. They're just enablers.
Yeah. Have you ever?
Yeah, I'm wondering. My question. Well, I'm wondering if I should address my mom more with this, or should I?
It's the only way to stop. It's the only way to stop
corner
it.
the lion, the sister.
It's the only way to stop it.
Have you ever had a conversation with your siblings when they were like, you know what, you're right? Ever?
No. Particular one? No.
They're not going to start now. They're not going to take stuff.
You want me to quit being a parasite?
I'm going to quit asking for free money. You're right.
Yeah, I don't.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. The only thing you can do is convince mom to cut them off, and probably the only way that's actually going to happen is if she believes she's going to have to move.
And you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You're not. And so one more second spent thinking about your siblings is a second wasted on loving your husband, loving your life, doing something fun. Like, you're just wasting your energy because they're never going to change. Parasites like that don't change.
Yeah. Proof is in the history, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not going to. And so, I mean, you can address it with your mom and say, listen, I know this is going on, and I think you're out of control, and I really think you should stop because I think you're harming them. Because enabling is always harming the recipient, too. Because by giving your sister money, your sister money, you are giving a drunk a drink because she refuses to work, and now she gets to refuse to work. But if she didn't have the money, then she would go to work.
Yeah.
Or she'd sit on government assistance or whatever that she was going to do. But your mom's not helping her. She's harming her. Enabling always harms the recipient. And enablers always think they're sweet, kind people, but they're not. They're harmful people. Your mom thinks she's sweet, but she's not. She's harming. She's harming her own children, and she should stop it. That's what I would tell her.
Or in a...
I don't disagree.
In a even further extension of that, your mom's actually a parasite in a way too, because she's using her kids to feel better about herself because she won't have that hard conversation. You see how this just continues downstream?
Yeah.
She's using them to feel good about herself because she says she has to live in her other kid's house.
You know, at a minimum, I would say you're going to have to do 2 things, probably for sanity's sake. You do what you want to do. I'm just putting myself in your shoes because I don't think you're going to tell her to move. Might be the best thing that happened to her, but I don't think you're going to do it. And so I think you got to make peace with it, number one. Number two, I think you need to have a very clear, calm, but very direct conversation with your mother about her misbehavior. And she should stop it. The best ID theft protection is from Xandr. They not only monitor, they help you get your life back. Go to Xandr.com to learn more. Morgan is in Boise, Idaho. Hey, Morgan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my wife and I, we got ourselves into about $250,000 in debt.
Oh.
And
what?
Student loan.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Who's the doctor or lawyer?
We have.
Who's the doctor or lawyer?
My wife will be shortly. She'll have her doctorate in pharmacology.
A doctorate in? She's going to have a PhD in pharmacy. So what do you do with that? That's not a pharmacist.
It is a pharmacist. That's actually what's required now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. So she's going to be a pharmacist, and and what do you do?
I work in manufacturing.
Making what?
About $55,000 a year.
And this $250,000 is all hers?
Yeah, 100%.
Jeez, man, unbelievable.
We actually moved across the country, and before we used to deal finances together, but I've been doing all the finances for the last 4 years, and I recently came across you. I listened to a few of your books, and I'm just trying to figure out how. I mean, she has a lot on her plate, but she just doesn't want to be involved in finances at all. I'm trying to get her on board, and I'm not really sure how to do that.
Well, when does she graduate?
In May.
And passes boards after that in order to get a job, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's going to be concentrating on all of that between now and August. I mean, she's completely absorbed in hitting this goal. Okay?
Yeah.
But what I would do is just begin to plant the seed that at the time that happens, we are going to start handling things together. Okay? I'm not your daddy, I'm your husband. And you are too smart to not be involved emotionally in making the decisions of cleaning up this $250,000 mess. So we are going to have to make some very tough decisions together. I am not going to make them by myself. You and I are going to make them. You get a pass through your boards. After that, it's grown-up time, and the two of us are going to sit down together, and we are going to make decisions about our future and about cleaning up this mess and how deeply we're going to sacrifice to get that to happen. I am not going to drag you kicking and screaming through $250,000 in debt. I have no desire to be married to a woman where I'm her daddy. Now, you can be a little kinder and less blunt than that, but that's the message.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you say that in a more kind and gentle way?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The number one cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems. Yeah. You've got money problems. You are going to get sick and tired of carrying this intellectual genius that you're married to and making all the hard emotional decisions for her. You're going to get really tired of it. You're probably already a little tired of it, but you're just too nice to be as blunt and brash as I am. But by the time 10 years from now rolls around, you're going to be sick of it. And you're going to meet resistance every time you try to create a sacrifice to pay this dadgum disastrous mess off. Because she's probably not going to make $100,000. So your household income is going to be like $200,000. And it's going to take you guys 3 years of living on, like your college students, on beans and rice to clean this mess up. This is a ridiculous,
under 200, so
it's a ridiculously large debt, and it's going to take a while. So anyway, the way you say that is just say, number one, honey, the number one cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems. I've been studying this guy. He's making a lot of sense. I get it that you're all in until your boards are passed. I'm with you on that. At that point, you and I, for the sake of the quality of our relationship, have got to work on this together. I'm going to need your help. You're bright. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Do you think it would make sense for maybe after that period, after she's graduated, for us to do financial peace together to get us on the same page? Or?
Sure. Lots of people do that.
Okay.
But she's got to want to do that. There's a conversation that gets her on the path before you just announce, hey, we're going to this class together. I mean, you could do that. Sometimes that works, but usually it's more like it's very important and that we work together on this. I'm going to need your help. I don't mind doing the details, but I do mind carrying the weight of all the decisions and you not having visibility and making part of the decisions. So let's walk together and make sure that the quality of our marriage, a good way to do that might be that we go through this class. That might be what you do. But she has, the way you get through something like a PhD program or, become an MD or whatever, at that level is you have to have a singular focus. And, what I'm saying is that as a couple, you're going to have to change your singular focus from that once she passes her boards to cleaning up the mess that was created by getting that degree. So, hey, thanks for the call.